Can't hear you.
Hey, Sporty.
Hey, Kiki.
Girl, that was crazy, huh?
Yes, it was. I'm like, okay.
Can
I
you share
told you
the
why.
link?
Huh?
I need you to share the link. Why are you looking at me like I'm crazy?
Is it the same?
No, it's not. Why don't you hit the little head at the top? And then it should tell you how to get us.
What little head?
Okay. Hey guys, I'm sorry. We got booted a little earlier, so I'm getting ready to start this stream all over again. All right, check the PDA page, Sporty.
That's what I'm doing.
Anywho, so we need to get back to our conversation.
Oh my God, yes. So we were talking about us being the list that three prepared for you of excuses that people give.
Right. Let me go ahead and post on my page too as well so that people know where we are. Because this is crazy how we got just kicked out of there.
That is very interesting.
It's okay. Can you hear me all right?
hmm
All right. So,
And
all
as soon
right.
as I link, I will send it right out.
Okay. Anyway, so I'll give you the excuses that people um, have been using. Excuse me.
It's quite all right, darling.
I want to make sure that we get that chat room and everything up again so people um, can see what's going on.
Got
How
it.
we, huh?
I said I got it. I definitely want to get that back in there. So because they had some really good,
Yeah, they
interesting
did. They had
comments.
some really good conversation that they wanted to share with us, and I want to make sure that they um, are a part of the conversation. Um, Sporty, can you do me a quick favor?
Well, of course I can. What do we
Can
need?
you do a station ID for me? Because I need to get that. Can you see the chat room? Is it back up?
I can't see it as of yet. I am working on
All
it.
right. Give me just one moment here. We're going to pause for a station ID. Give everybody that station ID for a second and kind
Well,
of engage people. Catch everybody up on what we were doing.
so what we were doing is today we are talking about today's subject. What the fuck? Why am I stuck? Because there are so many different ways that people get stuck in life in situations where it's the career, whether it's home, whether it's relationships, all of the above. So, what we are doing is we're giving you scenarios and we're letting you know different ways to adjust you so that you can get yourself out of the situations that most times you've put yourself in. And, here at Playing Devil's Advocate, we are uncensored, unscripted, and absolutely unapologetic. So Kiki and I are going back and forth, letting everyone know that this is a solution or solutions or suggestions on how to get yourself out of what you've put yourself in. So let's just see what we can do. And
How did he get on here? We ain't invite you in here. Hang on a second. Jen has got to be in control of that because we can't have it just all willy nilly like
Completely
that.
open, right?
Yeah. So anywho, clearly I didn't know what I was doing when I was starting it, but I just wanted to make sure that the stream came back up. So I can't be responsible for what happens at this point because I was just trying to get it up back up again. I don't know if people can see the chat. I don't know what they can see at this point. But you know, let's move on.
Gotcha.
Some of
Oh.
the bullshit excuses that people give
Mhm.
is I need to focus on saving money right now.
Okay.
So what?
That's
If
a
you
big
sit
one.
around and wait on money, you'll never get anything done. Never ever.
That's
Never.
definitely a big one.
People say that all the time. That's a bullshit excuse. You know, I don't I tried everything. No, you didn't.
You
Because
couldn't
if you
have
tried
possibly.
everything, you wouldn't be in the situation that you're in right now. You know?
And then one of the things that they my favorite version of that is when I get some extra money, then I'll get, things done. First of all, what in the entire fuck is extra money?
I don't know. I don't know. That's something somebody done made up.
Extra money and spare change.
I don't know what any of that stuff is. It is all foreign to my brain, but those are some of the BS excuses that people give. People do, they say stuff like, I don't want to put my family in a position like if they wanted to start a new business or something like that. I don't want to put my family in that position, meaning like, I don't want them to have to go without and struggle because I'm chasing my dream. That's a lie. That's some bullshit.
But you know what that reminds me of, Kiki? It's like when they say they're chasing their dream, it reminds me of the story of the little red wagon. You have your red wagon, you're pulling it along in your life, and then you have all these other people. Can I have a ride? Can I have a ride? Can I have a ride? Your wagon gets harder and harder to pull. You can't make it to where you're going because you're carrying all these other people with you. You
Hmm.
got to get to where you're going to get to with your empty wagon, take care of you first. And then if you so choose to desire to help somebody back once you've got yourself together, then great, do that. But keep yourself on the forefront. You can't drag the whole world with you while you're trying to how can you say I'm trying or I'm working on my master plan while I'm helping you,
Well, you,
complete your process?
you already know how I feel about that word trying.
You see what I did when I said trying? That
Because
doesn't make
either you
sense to me.
are or you aren't. There's nowhere in the middle.
You're not trying. There is no try.
There's no way in the middle. So I don't know how um you can say that.
But
And
that was something that, that just annoys me so much. I'm working on this and I'm doing this. But
yeah. But
that three little
anyway,
words.
all right. So let me go ahead and give you some things right here. Okay.
Mhm.
This is what I need for people to understand. These are the 5 major pitfalls that occur how people get stuck in a rut. Okay. The 5 pitfalls.
Ready.
You stupid. I'm ready. All right. And the first one is isolation, right? And the reason why the first one is isolation is because if you're not feeling 100%, you're not where you want to be, and all these other things, people tend to kind of insulate themselves. They don't get out and about, right? You can't say that you want to launch this big business, but you're not willing to go out and network and meet people. And people do that a lot. You isolate yourself. Don't do that. Don't isolate yourself. That's how you get in a rut, because it's all you all the time. And if that's the only view you're seeing, you're never going to get another perspective. That's number 5. Okay? You writing it down? Isolation, number 5.
Girl, I
Number
got my
4.
list working. Come on.
Number 4 is fear of the unknown. People are afraid to do the things that they have never done before. Here's the thing. Either you're going to succeed or you're going to fail.
One or the other.
And the worst case of failure is death. And at least you went out doing something that you loved, right? I'm just saying. At least you going out doing something that you love, you enjoy, that it brings you joy. It makes you feel good. The reality of the situation is that you just stopping and saying, you know what, I'm afraid. Fear stops so many people. That's the number 4 pitfall of how people get stuck in a rut. They're afraid to change. They're afraid to do something different. They're afraid to step out of that box. They're afraid to step outside their comfort zone. But guess what? If this is your comfort zone, like let's use my head for example. If this is my comfort zone and I live all up in here, look at all this other shit out here that I'm missing out on.
That's a lot to miss out on.
Yeah, it's a whole lot that's going on that you're missing out on. Because one, you've isolated yourself and you're afraid of all the stuff that's out here.
Agreed.
Number 3, poor daily habits. And by that I mean you're not getting enough sleep. You're not putting enough work in or enough energy or hours into that thing that you say is that thing that you want to manifest itself, or that thing that you say you want to change. You know, you people who are moving forward are constantly moving forward, right? Even if it's teeny, teeny, tiny, itty bitty, wee baby steps, right? Each one of those little steps is still forward progress. But if you're not doing anything daily, I remember there was a time when Marae and I used to call each other every day, or we would text each other, or you know, not text, but you know, page each other. You
Got
know,
you on my beeper.
back in the day, you know, whatever. There were things that we would do. We would say to you, what are you doing today for your career? What are you doing today for your heart? What are you doing today, you know, for your life, right? Because something you should be doing every day. Get a routine. Not a routine that's so rigid that it can't withstand, you know, things changing, but you have poor daily habits, so that is how you get stuck in a rut. That's number 3. Number 2, lack of motivation and being complacent with the status quo. You're okay with things being just as they are. Let's use those people who we used scenarios earlier today, Sporty.
Okay.
They've been in those situations not one time, not 2 times, but several times, I'm sure. They've followed this pattern for a very long time because that's what they know. It's comfort. It's the status quo. It's what they know. You've become complacent. You've gotten to the point where, you know what, that's just the way that it is. It is what it is. When you shrugging your shoulders,
That because you don't care anymore. It's
right.
not.
When you shrugging your shoulders and saying, hey, it is what it is.
Oh,
Well,
man.
then that's why you've become comfortable in that place. Again, that level of pain has not met your threshold to say enough. Hey, who you looking at over there? What you looking at?
I'm not looking at anything. I'm you can't see it, I guess.
No, I
But
cannot.
this is the list. I'm writing the list.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm doing.
So number 2, we got that, right? You could become complacent and you're okay in that place. And the number 1 reason why people get stuck in a rut, the number 1 reason, if I had a drum roll, I'd play it. The number 1 reason why people get stuck in a rut is excuses. All they ever want to do is make excuses for why it's not happening or why the behavior that they're engaged in is acceptable behavior.
So, just to make sure I'm clear, because I know if I heard it and I wrote it down, then I know it's clear, and it should be clear to all of our wonderful listeners. Our
Sure.
5 major pitfalls are: number 5, isolation. Don't cut ourselves off. That's a no-no. Number 4, fear of the unknown. We do not want to be afraid. And even if you are, do it anyway.
Do it anyway.
Do it anyway. Number 3, poor daily habits. If you're not being a participant in what you say you want done, then guess what? It is not going to get done.
There it is.
Number 2, then this one was my favorite, girl. I wrote down it word for word. You'll be proud of this. Lack of motivation and being complacent with the status quo. That was number 2. So if you're not motivated and you're like, okay, I hear you. All right, whatever. And you're like, but this is okay right here. I'll get to it eventually. That's not being motivated. You're being complacent with what is in that moment.
Yep.
Our number 1, ding, 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 with the drum roll, excuses. We're full of them. Don't have excuses. Don't let the excuses be the reason you don't have what it is you say you're going to have in your life.
Exactly. I don't want to hear about all the ways that it's not going to work. I don't want to hear about all the ways that it is not currently working. Well, what I want to hear is how you plan to circumvent the obstacle that's in your way.
Mm-hmm. I think this will be a good place for people to remove the yes people in their lives and replace them with accountability partners.
Well, we'll get to that in a second.
People who support you.
We'll get to that in a second. But, another killer, just, as an aside to people, and it kind of goes hand in hand with number 2, the complacency and the status quo, is that people are fucking, well, actually, this one will go with number 3, the poor daily habits. People are fucking lazy. Let's just put it out there. People are lazy. They are procrastinators, and they will wait until the last minute to do something, rush and do a piss poor ass job, and then want to say, "Oh, I don't understand why it's not working for me. I don't understand why this didn't get done, or I don't understand why they didn't pick me, or I don't understand this, or I don't understand that." We're living in a world where everybody feels entitled to something, that they don't have to work hard for nothing. I remember there was a time where people had a work ethic. They knew if you put in work, you'll get a result. People don't want to put in the work. They just want the results.
Exactly. And that doesn't work.
I equate it to something, like losing weight. When people want to lose weight, right, they get frustrated really easy. It's not coming off. Well, it took you time to gain that weight. It's going to take you some time to lose it. But you think it's going to disappear overnight. Just like some people think change, and they think that, their lifestyles and all these things are going to change overnight just because they thought about it.
Yeah, it's not going to happen that way.
You can't just think it and not back it up with something. Stop being lazy. You got every excuse in the world. Oh, I couldn't do that because I had to drop my son off. Oh, I couldn't do this because I had to do this. I'm going to give you guys a personal example. I was working as a corporate trainer once. And, there are these people that say they want these jobs or whatever. They wait for months and months and months to get called for these positions. And then let's say the recruiters are like, okay, are there any times that you're unavailable? But because people claim they want this job so bad, they'll tell the recruiter no instead of being honest and saying, you know what, I can't work on these days, or I have this going on, or whatever, right? They'll say, yes, I'm available. I'm open. My schedule's open. Right? And, oh, I don't have any time off. No, I don't have anything that's going to interfere. Then they scheduled you for training with me, the corporate trainer. And then when you get in my training, you want to tell me about every excuse in the book why you can't be there every single day for that training. But you want this job. Everybody Everybody wants to be the fucking exception to the rule. If everybody were the exception to the rule, you'd be the rule and not the exception.
That's the big key right there.
Okay? So if you claim you want to work, you want to make this money, and you waited 2 months for somebody to call you to ask you if you want this job, and they tell you you have to be available every day, don't come into somebody else's training where you're learning to do a job that you claim that you want so badly, and you tell me that you need to go leave to pick up your kids. You should have made provisions for that. Am I supposed to feel sorry for you? I got dialysis in 30 minutes after class. Can I leave 5 minutes early? No, you can't. You should have scheduled your dialysis appointment a little bit later. Or you should have asked to train at a different time. But again, that's excuses. And then you wonder why your situation has not changed. You're your own worst flipping enemy. You. Nobody else. Can't blame the trainer. You can't blame the company and say, oh, well, I mean, I had to wait this long and this, that, and the other. Not my problem.
Say it right.
It's no my problem. You stupid. Say it right. It's no my problem. Lo siento. It's not my problem. No es mi problema. Okay? It's not my problem. Period, point blank. Get out of your way. You created the rut with your excuses, with your rationalizations, with your justifications, with your limitations, with your fear, with your laziness, with your procrastination. It's all you, boo-boo. Why you laughing?
Because it's like, you know, when you're compounded with all of the excuses and things and the bullshit that people come up with for why they're not progressing, it is just, it's overwhelming. But when you ask someone straight on, head on, what are your goals? What are your plans? I need time to think about that, or I need to figure it out.
Oh, yeah. You know, people can always tell you the can'ts, but they can't tell you the cans.
Right. You know, and it doesn't make any sense. That right there should be key enough for you to understand, you know, my can list is way more important than what can't be done. I don't need to know what can't be done because I'm not working on that. I'm working on what
they can always tell you what they don't want, but they can't tell you what they want. I don't want nobody that's gonna do this. I don't want this, and I don't want that, and I don't want that. Well, what do you want? I want to be happy. What does that mean?
What's that mean?
I say this to people all the time when they come to me and I say, you know, well, what brings you here today? Or, well, you know, why are you seeking? Well, I just want to make a change. In what?
What's the change?
Well, I want to be happy. I'm unhappy. Okay. Well, what does happiness look like to you? They can never tell me. It's the struggle. Because what's happy to me might not be happy to you.
And what makes you unhappy, they can give you the whole list, right?
But yeah. You know, but what happens is we start looking at, like I say all the time, watch your own front porch, watch your own front yard instead of watching what's going on in my yard and how great green my grass is. Your shit turning brown because you watching mine. Stop trying to compare your situation to my situation or somebody else's situation and then wonder why it's not working. You need to figure out what you want your situation to be, and then you need to, everything that you say and do should be in furtherance of that goal. Period. Exactly. But I'll break all of that down to you later. I'm going to give you 10 reasons why people fail.
Okay.
And then we're going to go into our Ask PDA letter. Okay? You ready for this?
I am absolutely ready. 10 reasons why.
10 reasons why people fail. Number 10, moral deficiencies. That means that your moral compass is not calibrated. It's like whatever it works for me, I don't give a hell. Hell be damned with everybody else. And you got a reason that for why it works, and you're gonna blame everybody else for when it doesn't work because you have lack of character.
Okay.
Okay. Number 9, burnout and depression. right? Sometimes, we just burn the candle at both ends doing shit that don't have nothing to do with what we say we want. Then we get depressed because we're not getting the results that we were looking to get because I'm putting in all this work.
Extra work.
And then you quit and then you fail. Or it fails. Right? Number 8, you have an addiction to something. And I'm going to fuck with Chan. Video games, drugs, alcohol, gambling, sex, procrastination. You know what I mean?
Hey, she makes drinks with moonshine. I think she's moving.
So that's number 8. Number 7, manic behavior. You go strong, real hard, and then you crash. You just stop. You drop it. Because you done ran out of gas. You didn't balance. You didn't pace yourself. Right? Number 6, paranoia. You think everybody's out to get you. You don't trust nobody. You don't think nobody is loyal to you. You think everybody's trying to tear what you are building down. Everybody's against you. It's me against everybody else. And you hoard everything. Every bit of information, every bit of anything that could be shared with somebody else. You don't want to share. You are not about the collective. It is all about me because I'm scared that somebody's out to take it from me. And then narcissism. Everything is about you. Right? Everything is about me. I don't give a fuck about you. Everything is about me. Right?
Did you sing that?
Then it's hubris, that arrogance, that unrealistic belief about how great you really are. You are way better than you think you are. You know what I mean? You're the smartest person in the room when you really not. You know so much more than everybody else when you don't know shit.
Nothing.
Because here's the thing. If you knew everything, if you were all knowing, and you wouldn't be in the situations that you in. If you have no room to grow, then what the fuck? Think about a plant. Think about a plant. When a plant can't grow anymore, what does it do?
Dies.
Thank you.
Dead.
And that's why you fail, because you left no room for growth. So you died, your dream died, all of that died. Number 3. And this sometimes people will say about me because y'all call me Little Hitler. Power. You have some people who are power hungry. They want all the power so they can get all the attention. I'm not like that. I really am not.
Yeah, I was going to say, power, I think it's a fine line there, Kiki, when it comes to the power. I agree that it's an excuse, but power, and being what we call you Little Hitler, there's nothing wrong with striving for the perfection that you want to see in your goal. That's you moving forward.
Right. But there's some people
who a powerful person.
But there's some people who don't want to give credit to other people, right? They don't want to delegate to other people because they want all the power.
Oh, yeah. See, you delegate real well.
Because they're narcissists, typically, right? Yes. Number 2, insecurity. They're very insecure. So that brings about that arrogance, that narcissism, that paranoia, all of that stuff. And then the last reason why people fail is greed.
Elaborate, oh great one.
Greed. You want it all. You're not willing to share. I say all the time, there's enough out here for us to all sit at the table and eat.
Absolutely.
There's enough pie out here where we can all get full. But you have people who don't believe that. And we're talking about like these people, let's just use, for example, if you want to get political for a moment. These people, these far-right conservatives who think everybody else is trying to take something from them. And they want to call Obama a socialist. How dare you redistribute wealth? You want to keep everything. The reason why this country is failing is because we're being strangled by the 1%ers who are greedy, who do not want to share. We can all prosper. There's enough out here for us to all live well. There's enough out here for us to all live well, still have a middle class, and still have rich people. There's enough out here for all of that shit to coexist.
You know, you're saying these things, but and because I know you're sitting here talking to me and our viewing audience,
Mm-hmm.
you don't see what's going on behind you in the world, and that is you're pretty much summing up your president's speech that he's making right now.
Am I?
The man just said, "Don't boo, vote.
Right.
Do something about it."
Yes, that's the
Don't
thing.
be part of the problem.
You have to be you have to be willing to be about the collective, because ultimately, you think about it like this, and then we're gonna read the letter.
Mm-hmm.
If you got these people over here that have everything, and these people over here who have nothing, guess what? You people who have everything have now become the prey. And these people over here have now become predators because they need to survive. But you're not willing to give up anything so that these people can survive.
Mm-hmm. And so they see that.
And they're going to survive off of you. They're going to eat you, and they're going to tear you apart limb by limb, and you're going to have nothing. But that's why people fail, because of greed. Greed, greed, greed. There's enough out here for everybody. There's abundance out here for everyone. And if you don't decide to make a command decision that I want my piece of that pie, I want my part of that abundance, until you make that decision, you're not going to get it. Nobody's going to walk up to you and be like, you know what, here's this pie. Here's your share of abundance. I'm not going to do that.
Take it. Not going to happen.
I ain't not going to do that. Here's the thing. I'm all about the collective. I want everybody to succeed. Think about it. Rob isn't here today because Rob is out. He, as a matter of fact, guys, this was Rob's idea. This show was Rob's idea. But he's not here today because he had to go. He got an offer to go do an engagement to make some money, and to affect positive change in other people's lives. Could I have been an asshole and be like, well, you committed to me, so you need to stay here and be here with me? No. Hell, bye. See you.
Handle your business.
Right, go do your thing. When Tree was our host, and he said I wanted to go out, my co-host, and he was like, you know what, Key? I want to go after whatever it is that I'm doing in terms of this acting thing. Guess what? Bye, see ya. I'll figure it out. Not a big deal. Go on, do you, boo-boo. Single ladies, now he's on own. Buddying up and chummy with none other than Mademoiselle O. You know what I'm saying? I don't want I want everybody to succeed. That's what it's about. Because I get joy out of when you win. It's not just about me winning that I'm going to be like, yeah. No.
And we all win when we support each other's wins. That's really the way I look at it.
But people don't think that way. People think it's all about them. And, if I got to step on you to get what I want and leave you behind, then that's what I'm going to do.
Nah, cool.
The only way I will leave people behind is if they put themselves in a position to get left behind. If you're not prepared to go on the journey, fuck, I'm bringing you for.
Exactly.
Don't mean I don't love you. Don't mean I don't like you. Don't mean that if I see that you're doing something and you need me to support you, don't mean that I won't support you. You just can't catch this train. You gotta wait for the next one. You weren't ready. So we had to leave. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our Ask PDA letter. And it will not disappoint, ladies and gentlemen. Let me play this disclaimer and then go ahead on into the letter.
At some point, you will be offended by something said on our show, but playing devil's advocate is meant to be a forum for open, honest, and more importantly, judgment-free dialogue. The opinions expressed here may not necessarily be those of our hosts or the show in general, but we're willing to have the uncomfortable conversation so that we can heal and find solutions for our listeners and quite possibly ourselves. Enjoy the rest of the show.
You want to add answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Today's Ask PDA letter is being brought to you by our producer's Drink of the Week. If you haven't had an opportunity to check out Cherry Bomb, shame on you. You still have time. You can go to facebook.com/playing devil's advocate. Click on the link, try out the drink, and let Cousin Chan know what you think. You got it? Good. All right. I'll just say, hint, moonshine. I'm going to leave it at that. All right. Dear PDA, I just want to get your thoughts on my situation. I've recently gone through some major life changes, and as a result, I feel completely and utterly stuck. I've always heard that your 40s are supposed to be your best years, but for me, it has been the complete opposite. I'm recently unemployed. I'm an empty nester. I have no man, no life to speak of. I'm completely in a funk, and I can't seem to bring myself out of it. I just don't know what to do. What can I do to jumpstart my life? Signed, Queen of Stuckville.
Ooh.
This one's going to be easy, but I'll let you go first, Sporty.
Proper preparedness prevents piss poor planning.
That's what you're going to give him?
Yes, because if you are, it sounds like she's right there in your list. You're complacent. You lack of motivation. You are comfortable with your status quo. So my thing would be, you need to get up and get your ass moving. How long you just gonna lay there and that you're isolating yourself? You are completely on her list of 5.
Okay.
If you have not watched, please go back and view that list of 5 because you're being classic with it right now. You're giving
Classic.
excuses, your lack of motivation, and being complacent with the status quo. Definitely poor daily habits. Fear of the unknown is completely present, and you're isolating yourself. Stop it.
Okay.
Girl, get them.
All right, here, Queen of Stuckville. I'm going to keep it real simple for you. Because I'm getting an echo from Cousin Chan, so I don't know what she's over there, if she's getting ready to say something. Okay. I'm going to keep it real simple for you. You said that, this is a quote, I'm recently unemployed, I'm an empty nester, no man, no life to speak of. You almost sound suicidal. Okay? What I need for you to do is stop focusing on all the things that you don't have. You're telling me how you don't have a job, your kid's not there, you don't have a man, you don't have a life. Okay, go get a job. You don't need to get no more kids. Stop focusing on a man and get yourself a life, right? Here's the thing. The first step into getting out of this funk, because you said you don't know what to do, the first step is to focus on the positive. Stop thinking about all the stuff that you do not have. Be grateful for the things that you do have. Think about the things that you want. Set a plan and go for them. Do something. Sitting there wallowing in all of your knots is not going to change your situation. Okay? And that's part of the problem. You're focusing on the lack. So for as long as you're focusing on the lack, you're going to continue to receive lack. You need to think of abundance. You're going to have a full life, equipped with everything that you want once you decide what those things are. I understand that, that empty nest syndrome can be quite a bear. So to lose your job and your kids all around the same time, those are most of the things that most people use to distract themselves from the fact that they're not focusing on what really makes their heart smile, right? So when those things leave and they're not there and you don't have all that distraction anymore, you are right now, you're in your nucleus right now. This is just you. It's just you. You got to figure out who you are, what makes your heart smile, and do those things every day. Period. Point blank. First step to do something is take a step. All right. With that being said, it is time for us to move on. Move on. Do you have one more scenario before I wrap everything up, Sporty?
Of course, dear. Let us give you.
Yeah, Chris, dear. I'm ready.
All right, here we go. This person has their own business but does work for others ahead of herself. She even puts how they pay her on the back burner because people have issues that come up and can't make their payments due to these other serious issues. She supports everyone's events, but they give excuses and apologies for not attending hers. She is becoming depressed because she can't figure out if she's doing everything right and why if she is doing everything right, why is she then not moving forward?
Okay. First of all, when it comes to doing business, fuck you, pay me. Period. Business is business. One don't have nothing to do with the other. No, you're not on a payment unless we've decided you're on a payment plan. Then you pay me my money, half up front and half 30 days out, or whatever the time frame that we've set for for the end of the thing. If you don't, that half up front is non-refundable.
Mm-hmm.
Period, point blank. So you need to get your paperwork in order if you're talking about business. If you have contracts and people are signing contracts and not living and they're breaching their contracts, take their punk asses to court. Period, point blank. In terms of supporting people and they don't support you back, here's the thing. We don't support people with the intention of them doing something back. It's not a quid pro quo. I do this for you, you do this for me. If you're supporting somebody, support somebody.
There you go.
If they don't support yours, okay, duly noted. Because there will be a time where they will come to you and need you. And all the times that you've made them a priority may not be a priority for you this time. Because their track record has shown you that what they're doing to them is more important, or what you're doing, it doesn't carry as much importance to them. Okay? Now, I don't expect you to hold my shit up to the same level that you hold your shit.
Right.
That's unrealistic. But I'm saying, if you're going to support me, support me. Do you have to watch the show every week? No. That's not what I'm saying. Would you, if you did it, would that be nice? Yeah. You checked out the replay? Yeah. Did you post something on the wall? Did you have commentary? Did you start a thread? Did you do something? Oh, would that be nice? Absolutely.
And see, I think that's what gets confusing is people don't know that there are other forms of support. It doesn't necessarily have to be, okay, in order for me to support, PDA, I have to sit and watch it every single week.
No.
You
Share
just
the
gave
screen.
list.
Share the link. Say, hey, check out my folks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't require you to sit here. Spread the word. But again, if you're focusing so much, stop focusing so much on those other people. And that's what it sounds like to me. You are focusing a lot on other people and not focusing enough on you.
Yeah.
You need to respect your business in terms of making sure that people pay when they're supposed to pay. It's not a sliding scale. It's not a sliding pace calendar. None of that. No. If you're supposed to pay me on the 15th, pay me on the 15th. Period.
And respect your time.
Respect my time. I don't do business with people that don't have timepieces.
Mm-hmm.
You don't respect. If you show up late the first time that I'm dealing with you, or the first two introductions, and you're not on time, I'm not likely to fuck with you. Because you've just shown me blatant disrespect for my time.
Agreed.
For my services, I charge a nice little piece of change. So if you waste an hour of my time, you done wasted a lot of money, of my money. And I don't take too lightly to that.
Yeah, me either.
So you need to respect your business. You need to respect yourself. and stop worrying so much about other people. I don't know so much if this is a rut, but maybe you also need to reprioritize who you call your people. Again, start treating people like furniture, right? Furniture that you don't need or you don't use that often. You like it, right? You have a use for it, but you don't use it all the time. You just put it in a different place in your house, right? You don't get rid of it. You don't throw it away. You just move it to a different spot.
Ooh, yes.
Right? But shit that you have absolutely no use for, you keep running and stubbing your damn toe and hurting yourself on it every single time, or it's a fucking eyesore, throw it out. Get rid of it. You have no use for it. It keeps hurting you. It's in the way. It's ugly. Whatever. Right?
And one of the key things I saw in that was that they keep putting her on the back burner. You're putting yourself on the back burner of your own life by even allowing that to happen.
And your business.
If they see you putting you on the back burner, why wouldn't they? Why would they care more about your business than you do?
Here's the thing. You don't pay me my money, we're going to have a problem. Will we still be friends? Probably. We'll be associates. But we'll never, ever, 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 ever
do business again.
Now, I ain't talking about loans between friends. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about business. If we have an agreement and you don't hold up to your ends of the agreement,
we have a problem.
I'll put it like this. When it comes to Kiki, even if we have an agreement and it don't have no money to it, and you don't hold up to your Sporty, you know me. If we have an agreement that you're supposed to have something to me by X amount of time and you don't have it to me by that time, what happens?
Oh my God, you turn into that little thing.
Because I'm serious about mine.
Yes, she is very serious.
And you need to be serious about yours as well. All right. So, that's it? That's all you got?
Well, hell, you knocked them out the park like, these were big world problems to these people. And you like, okay.
I'm just saying, it's all about perspective, people. It's really about perspective and perception. How you see it and how you respond to it. I'm going to tell y'all something. I was having a really bad day one day. Right? So I thought. All right? I thought my day was crappy. I mean, it was a really bad day for me. And I don't have very many of those. I don't allow very many of those days to occur. Even if it is, I don't own it, right? I won't accept it. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I push through it, whatever. There's rarely ever a time where people call me and they say, or they reach out to me and they're like, well, how's everything? Or how you doing? That I don't have something affirmative to say or something positive to say.
True.
Typically my response is, hey, it's all good, right? I'm not going to complain, because if I do, who cares to listen, right? That's typically where I come from. You know that about me, right?
Yep.
So, but if I'm really feeling some kind of way, sometimes I'll deal with it. But let me tell you what actually came through to me, and I'm gonna share this with you guys.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm serious, because you never know, and thoughts are very powerful. And this is an example of how your thoughts are very powerful, and you have to be conscious of what you think, what you speak, and how you feel. Okay? Like I said, I was having what I called a bad day, and out of nowhere, which seems nowhere, because nothing is ever coincidental, right? I was just like, ugh, it was one of them days. And I get a text message, boom, and it was the prayer sign, and it was the crown, right? So, of course, it was like Peace Queen, right? I knew what that was. And we know who that was from. It's from my good friend Mel. I swear to God, it doesn't matter what I'm going through. If I'm feeling some kind of way, he always, always is on the same frequency with me. And we may not have talked for a year, right? Or 6 months. But whatever that frequency is, somehow he's tuned into it. And this particular day, he sent me a message. And at that day, he sent that message, and he said, Perception governs your emotion. How you feel about something determines your actions. Your actions create your reality. Meaning, by simply changing your perspective, the way you are looking at something, you can change your experience instantaneously. I hadn't called him and said, I'm feeling some kind of way today. But that's what I needed to hear in that moment. It was all about my perspective. And if I changed simply the way that I looked at it, the situation changed immediately. Does that make sense to you guys?
Makes beautiful sense. It really does.
He said to me, he said,
Makes
whenever you
beautiful.
start to feel lost or fear or whatever, he says, remember this simple rule of thumb. One, always let your joy be your compass. Two, if you believe, prepare to receive. And three, have your thoughts, words, and actions align with your intentions. All of that came when I called myself having a damn bad day. What you smiling about?
Because I'm going to read to you what someone sent to me, because I was having a weird old day yesterday. I didn't even tell you about it until later today because I thought you knew. But they said, know that your universe is always in control, and any and everything that troubles your heart and mind shall pass. You are still amazing and destined for greatness always.
Again, guys, it only takes a simple, small mind shift. You know, just change the way you think. And when you change the way you think, you change the way you respond.
I also believe, Kiki, in alignment with that, is that especially because neither one of us contacted either of these people to say, oh my God, woe is me. We didn't even talk to each other about, oh my God, woe is me. We just moved right along. And clearly, we had already made the shift in our mind to not stay where we could have stayed. We couldn't have fixed the situation, but I had all the control in the world over how the situation was going to play out for me. And creating that space in my mind created the space for someone to support me in my move forward versus try to have a so-called party.
Yeah, man, listen, I don't have them parties. So when people call me and they trying to have a pity party, I'll be like, I did not RSVP for this shit. So I'm call me back when you get that together. Okay? It's just why a lot of times when y'all call me and y'all feeling some kind of way, y'all say, I need to talk to Coach Kiki, or I need to talk to my friend Kiki, because that will determine how I respond to you. Okay? So let me give you guys the moral of tonight's story, right? The moral of tonight's story is that imagine your life as a map, right? Imagine it as a map. And then set your goal, where you want to be on that map, okay? And then there are 5 simple steps. 5 simple steps to get out of that rut. 1, see things as they really are. Take a real hard, long look at your shit. It's not going to be pretty. You ain't going to like it. But take a real long, realistic look at it. And then step 2, look at it in a way where things can be better than they are. So you want to visualize the change in your actual situation, right? Everything in detail. If you talk about, I want to be happy, that's vague. Talk about what that happiness looks like, right? Step 3, make a plan to get there. If you were going on a trip, because remember, your life is a map. You've picked a place on that map that you want to go. You need to make a plan to get there. You make reservations. How do you plan to get there? I'm going to get on this flight, nonstop to this place, blah, 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 blah. Make a plan to get there. Step 4, get yourself an accountability partner. You want somebody to hold you accountable to the things that you say that you want. You want someone to say to you, didn't you say you wanted to go over here? Well, what time you supposed to be there? Did you put enough gas in the car? Did you do blah, 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 da, 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 so on and so forth, right? You need that accountability partner to hold your feet to the fire, to give you what it is that you say you want. If you're not willing to have an accountability partner, you're not willing to have what it is that you say that you want. You're not willing to get to that place on your own life's map. And step number 5 is actually do something. Do something. Do something to get you to that place on your own map. One thing. One phone call, one note to yourself, one plan, one whatever. Do something. And be sure, just like Mel said, that your thoughts, your words, and your actions are in line with getting yourself to that place on your life map.
Okay.
See them as they are. See them better than they are. Make a plan. Get an accountability partner and do something. Take one step. That's your 5 things. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for part 1 and part 2, even though YouTube decided to kick us off tonight for what the fuck? Why am I stuck? Now you know why you have been stuck. Now you know how to get unstuck. And we thank you so much for sharing your scenarios with us, and we'll see you guys next week. On behalf of our producer, Cousin Chan, our incredible invisible intern number 3, the Rob Carter in absentia, Sporty Spunky Angel, and me, the consummate provocateur, Kiki Richardson. Thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of Playing Devil's Advocate, where we're uncensored, unscripted, unapologetic. We'll see you next week, same time, 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. on the East Coast. Good night, everybody.